I see mate. I want to draft this corset cup, and it is also beginner friendly, something you really understand. Yes, if it is something you want to learn, please stay tuned and watch to the end. And if there is any question you need to ask, or if there is anything that is not clear to you in this class, please drop it in the comment section. Let's get started. So for this particular cup crafting, the thing you'll be needing paper like this, that is your pattern paper. And for this pattern paper, like the measurements you need, the width of everything you need should not be longer than 12 inches. But for this my own, it looks like a bit rectangular in shape, so the length is 12 inches like this, and the width is 13 inches. So I'll be using this place as my center line. So what will you be needing after this paper? You need your marker, you need your tape, and you need your scissors, you need your measurements, and at the same time, most importantly, you need your curve rule. But if you know that your straight hand can perfect the work and make it done, fine, absolutely good. So now after this, the main three measurements we need is your upper bust. You'll be the one to determine that on this paper, your upper bust, and then your bust point, and at the same time your under bust. So those are the three main measurements you need. Those are the three main measurements. Others, you can use the normal techniques to find them out. Now let's move to the drafting. So the first thing you will need to do is to have your center line. So this is my center line now. And now from the tip of your paper, that is from this edge, the next thing you're going to do is to measure 12 inches downward. So that 12 inches is the exact number I am having on my paper here. I don't want to use this side. Let me use this side for better understanding. So this will be my center line. I want to redraw, I'm sorry. After drawing out my center line, the next thing I'm going to do is to measure my 12 inches here, and then I'll rule a straight line on that line. So whatever cup size you are drafting, this 12 by 14 or 13.5 inch paper should be enough. So now this will now be the end of my 12 inches. Let me write it here for you to understand. That's the base of this drafting that we are making. Now from the tip of your paper to that 12 inches, you locate the midpoint. The midpoint of 12 inches will be 6. So that's 6. You're going to tick it, then go on the other line and make sure that your 6 is accurate. Then you connect the line. So this center line now will serve as your bust point automatically. Now the next thing to do, I told you will be needing your upper bust measurements, and will be needing your bust point and under bust. Automatically now the midpoint of the 12 inches you measured serves as your bust point, so that one is out. You don't need measurement for this again. But the only thing you will be needing here to determine your under bust, when we get there, I will explain to you. Now your upper bust now depends on your client's choice or your own choice. If your client doesn't want something that will reveal a cleavage, then you determine how higher you want the cup to be. But if the client says she wants something that will be revealing a cleavage, then you determine how higher or how lower the cup should be at the yoke part of the dress. And now for me, for a moderate size, it is advisable to use either 4 or 3.5. And for a fuller size and someone that needs the cleavage side to be covered, you have to measure either 5, 5.5. 5 and 5.5 is enough. The highest you should go is 5.5, but you can still go by 5 inches. But for me, for the moderate size, because I'm not drafting for a fuller breast, so I'll be using 3.5. So that 3.5 now, I'll measure it upward and I'm going to mark it. That will serve as my own upper bust, and that 3.5 now I'm going to roll the straight line across it. So now this new line I just wrote is my upper bust. Now the next thing to determine is our under bust. Now this under bust will now based on your measurements. The measurements that I will be using for this particular cup, I will be using the bust point of 10. So you will take your measuring tape and place it on the automatic bust points that you have here. That is 10. So this is my own 10 now. The next thing I'm going to do is to measure my under bust, and the other bust for my own measurement here is 13 inches, as you can see. So from that 10, mark your under bust, and mine is 13 inches. So I'm going to connect this line now. Let me remark again. Make sure your initial measurement for your own bust point is placed on your automatic bust point. So I'm going to measure my 13 now. After measuring the 13, I'm going to connect a straight line like so. So now I will label this as my under bust. Don't mind how I write my bust with capital letter. That's how I do write mine, to indicate is to make it bold for you to like the style sharp. So the next thing we're going to do now, you don't need these 12 inches again. The only thing you need now is from this place to this place. So what I'm going to do now is to cut. So this is all we'll be needing. And now the next thing to do on your bust point now, at the center line, you will measure your apex divided by 2. For mine, the one I'm working with is 3.75. So I'm going to mark my 3.75 on my bust point. And now around this, on the upper bust also, you measure whatever your nipple to nipple is, and the same thing you replicate it also on the under bust. So the next thing you're going to do now is to connect these 3 lines together. After getting this, the next thing you do is to come back to your bust point, and then around this your bust point at the center of each diagonally, you measure your 1 inch different apart from your nipple point. So here at this part, 1 inch, 1 inch here, another 1 inch here, then at the top another 1 inch here, at the bottom another 1 inch here. Mind you, the 1 inch that I'm measuring, you can see that I'm placing my own tape on my nipple point. So you measure 1 inch apart, as the top, as the down part, at the right and at the left part. So this 1 inch now that you have measured, that is where your dart intake for the upper part, the lower part, the side part of your bust to be connected. So whatever that we are connecting, we never get to this nipple point. Everything will stop at this place, at this place, at this place, at this place. So the next thing for you to do now, you go down to your under bust. As for me, I'll be using 1.5. I will drop how to get your bust allocation later on this channel. Please, if you have watched this stage and you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to your channel, and at the same time share, like and subscribe, so that whenever we drop a new video, you will get a notification as zap, or else you might not see us again. No. Okay, so now my 1.5 inch has been taken here, and the next thing I'm going to do now at this part, I'm going to take my 1.5 inch. After taking this, you're going to connect to this 1 inch that we took from here like this, and then on the other part too. If you like, you can go by 0.25 on both sides, but as for me, I would love to take 0.5 inch here at the right side and 0.5 inch at the upper side. So that means the total dart intake of 1 inch for the upper bust tightening. The next thing you're going to do is to connect back to your 1 inch that we measured earlier, like so. So you connect like so. So the next thing you're going to do at this part, you will take 1.25 up and 1.25 down. If you like, you can make it 1 inch, but for me, I will be taking 1.25 up here, and at the same time 1.25 down, and then you will connect to this 1 inch here like this. Like this, and then you connect this like this. You join it together here. The next thing we are going to do is to determine our side bust. And to determine this, if you did not remember to take your client's side bust measurement, what you're going to do is to measure the difference between your bust point and your under bust. And now for me, my own bust point to under bust is 3 inches plus 1 inch. You will add 1 inch to it, and if you like you can add 1.5, but as for me I will be adding 1 inch. So now at the nipple point, you measure whatever you have. Mine is 4 inches, so this 4 inches is what I will be marking here. So I will mark that 4 inches out. The same thing on the under bust. Now after marking on the under bust, I'm going to connect the 3 lines together in order to determine my side bust dart. So let's see how it goes. And this is it. You can see that now. So that means this is where our cup is going to stop, at this edge. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, the same thing I did on this side, taking out 1.25, is the same thing I'm going to do on the other side. I'll take out 1.25 here, and that will give me 2.5. You can remeasure if you are not sure of what you have taken. So I will be connecting back to what we took out the other time for the dart. So our 1 inch that we took out here, and then you turn to the other side and also connect that side too. You can see that this is a very small cup, but at the end of everything, it's going to give you a very deep cup that will capture your bust very well. And at the same time, by the time you want to cage the cup, it will not become flat. It will keep the shape of your cup intact without having issue. So after connecting it to this side, now the next thing you're going to do is to connect this part to this side like so. Make sure that you position your curve rule very well to have good shape. So all these shaded parts now are the parts we are going to cut out. Voila, and our cup is what? It's super ready. So let's cut. I remember something, for you to avoid confusion, it's better to label your cup before you cut out. I will label this 1 facing 2, and I will label this 3 facing this, facing this. This is my upper part, and for this upper part. You understand? Sorry for that. Sorry, there's something I'm supposed to do that I did not do. At the side cup, I'm going to come up by 0.25. So from here now, I'm going to curve down. And I will join this to this, like so. So on this part, I want to come down a little by 0.5, and then I will curve it down like this. So I will cut out. Sorry, that's what I forgot. So now this is what I have. Next thing we're going to do is to join the curves together. So finally, this is what we have. Our cup is ready. Now after you have drafted this, you can go ahead and place it on your pattern. If you have gained 1 or 2 things from this tutorial, please like, share and subscribe to our channel.